Welcome to problem solving. All right, we're on page 249. We're going to take a look at number 14. And they say for number 14 and 15, we want to write who ran the greater distance. And we're going to use a number line to help. So we'll try a number line this time and see how that works. Hopefully the independent practice helped you out with that one. But let's take a look at number 14 says Haley ran 1/2 mile. And Peter ran 2/3 of a mile. So let's take a look at that. So I want you to go ahead and draw a number line. I'm thinking you may want to draw two different number lines, but make sure they're the same distance. And make one number line where you divide that into halves. And then make another number line, and divide that into thirds. And once you plot those out and come up with who ran the greater distance. Pause the video, come on back when you're ready. Okay, let's see. Hopefully, let's take a look here. We've got one number line, so we'll go like that. And we have start with 0 and we'll go to 1, okay? And we want to divide that up into halves because I see the denominator is 2. So that's easy, right there. Okay, and we want to do 1/2, one out of the two sections. So that's looking to me, here's the first section, there's the second section. So 1/2 would be right, 1 out of 2, right? All right, so now let's take a look at Peter. Peter ran 2/3 of a mile. So we're going to draw another number line and label it 0 and 1. Notice how mine are basically the same distance. These two are equal. We want to make sure that this is the same, okay? And now we're going to do it in thirds. So let's divide that up into 3 equal sections. Close enough. All right, so we have now 3 equal parts. 1, 2, and 3. So we can label this. We have 0. First part is 1/3, right? 1 out of 3. And then the next part is 2/3. And then, of course, the last one is 3/3 for the 1 whole. He went 2/3. Okay, so we've got Haley ran 1/2 a mile. And then we have Peter ran 2/3 of a mile. Boy, who ran farther? All right, so here's how I would hope you would answer this. I would like you to say something like this. Peter ran the greater distance. Boom. Let's do number 15. Number 15. Let's move this over here. And it says Kim ran 1/3 mile. Jesse ran 5/6. So let's do it, guys. I want you to draw two number lines. Make sure they're equal. And divide one up into thirds for the 1/3. And then divide the other one up into, it looks like, sixths. Figure it out for me. Remember, write your answer. So pause this now, do that, and then come on back. All right, let's see how you did. All right, so I did one number line, 0 to 1, and then we're going to do thirds because there's the denominator 3. So we do this into thirds, and so we have 1/3, 2/3, and of course this would be 3/3, right? Kim ran 1/3. Boom. Now let's take a look at Jesse. Jesse ran 5/6. So we want to go and make a number line now. We want to make it the same length, guys. You want your holes to be the same. Let's do it divided by 6. Ugh. Okay, so let's divide this in half. We want 3 on the left side, so I'll do 2 lines. That gives me 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more lines. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So I have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and then of course 1 whole is 6/6. All right. So he went 6, 5, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. All right. So Kim 1/3, and Jesse 5/6, I think it's pretty obvious that Jesse ran the greatest distance. All right, let's move it on. Number 16. You're going to use your brain here. You ready? Let's read this together. Greg says that I know that 1/4 of a mile is longer than 1/3 of a mile because 4 is greater than 3. Do you agree with Greg? Now you're going to give some thought to this, okay? Now look at, he's comparing 4 and 3, and look what 4 and 3 is, what they are on the fraction. I want you to think about, do you agree with him? If so, why? Or if not, why? Pause this video, think about it, and then come on back. All right. He says 4 is greater than 3. And you know what? He's correct. It is greater than 3. If they were just talking about regular whole numbers, right? But we're not. He's looking at the denominator. So he's saying 1/4 is greater than 1/3 because 4 is greater than 3. But I'm hoping that you're remembering that in fractions, that the denominator, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. Remember, if you have a pizza cut up into fourths, as compared to the same size pizza that's cut up into thirds, that 1/4 is going to be smaller piece than 1/3. So, when you're asked to explain, you want to explain in writing, okay? So, let me erase this and we'll have some space here. So one way of explaining in writing is that Greg is incorrect. I know that the bigger the denominator, I'm spelling this all wrong, huh? Denominator, the smaller the piece. Now there's all different ways to explain that, but I'm just giving you one example of a way to explain that. All right, let's move on to number 17. Number 17 says, Larry ran 6/8 mile and Anna ran 1/2 mile. Who ran the greater distance? Use a number line to explain. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you guys. I would like for you to draw one number line and go ahead and mark it up. Looks like this one here, you're going to have to divide that into eighths. Show me where 6/8 is. And then show me where 1/2 would be on that same number line. And demonstrate who ran the greater distance. Pause the video, then come on back when you've got some of that work done. All right, let's take a look, see if yours matches mine. So we're going to go and draw one number line straight across. And I'll start with 0. And I go 1 whole, or one, this would be 1 mile. And then I'm going to divide this up into eighths. So I need 8 equal parts. So I'm going to divide that in half, and then half and half. I have fourths now. So now I'm going to divide that in half. And now I have 8 equal parts. So let's find where 5/8 is. Okay, so for me, I'm going to change my color a little easier to see. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. Right there. 6/8. And that would be Jesse, right? So I'll put a J. All right. Now, Anna ran a half mile. So we have to think of this as divided into just 2 equal parts. So I'm going to change my color. I'm going to go with green. And if I did that, then I would need to go 2 equal parts. I'd have to go and divide this right in half, right? So there's my halfway point. So here's one part, and here's the other part. Oops, go right through it. So Anna went 1/2, 1 out of the 2, right? So she went right here, Anna. So just by showing this on the number line, it looks like we've got a winner here. Jesse ran the greater distance. Now let's move on to 18.